Hello, my name is Tiffany Nguyen, and today I would like to discuss malaria within public health. So, transmitted mostly by female mosquitoes, malaria poses a big threat. There are many ways malaria can be transmitted, which includes organ transplant, blood transfusion, contaminated syringes, or even mother-to-infant births. And malaria has dated back as far as the 1800s in terms of the malaria strand. However, malaria was not found originally in humans. It was actually found in non-humans, such as mosquitoes. And another place that malaria originates or is thought to be originated from is Africa. And the reason why it poses such a big threat for any community is due to the fact that malaria is common and the transfer from one person to another is common, and the disease can infect anyone from all races, age, gender, and not only that, it can be transferred from mother to infant, and sometimes infants can die early due to malaria. And once infected, malaria can lead to anemia, nausea, headaches, and sometimes, and actually many times, death. And currently right now, many countries are at risk with malaria, namely third world countries, and most right now at the top of the list is most likely Africa. And oftentimes, these countries do not have the resources for vaccinations, which leads to the increase of infections. And another factor that proves to be detrimental is traveling. So with traveling, people with malaria can take the disease with them and bring the disease to another country, or sometimes a traveler that's not vaccinated or is susceptible to the disease can enter a country that has a lot of malaria and they can become infected as well. And there are many ways to deal with malaria, but there is currently right now no way to completely eradicate malaria. And the problem with malaria is that it's been around for a significant amount of time. However, researchers, doctors, and officials are working extremely hard to deal with the problem at hand. One of the most effective strategies that they have employed is vector control. And vector control can range from spraying insecticides to using bug repellents. And tackling the problem at the core is an extremely important part of dealing with malaria, since malaria is mostly coming from these mosquitoes. And another strategy that can be used against malaria is drugs. By providing people with the resources to fight against the disease, infection can lessen, and it prevents more people getting infected. And right now, malaria is extremely prominent in Africa, especially Uganda, Rwanda, and Nigeria. And WHO has officially launched a response call for these places. And not only that, the country themselves, such as Rwanda, has spent $17 million to import mosquito nets. So they're trying their best right now to make sure that they are implementing as many programs as they can to prevent further infection. And public health for the future is more about focusing on how and why malaria is being transmitted. And the reason goes back to the fact that the disease is being transferred throughout the world and deaths are climbing each day. So to begin with, malaria is transmitted through mosquitoes. So in order to combat that, many researchers believe that bed nets and repellents should always be used as the first option or one of the many options. Another strategy that can be used is anti-malaria pills that can provide short-term options, or malaria vaccines, which provides partial but not full protection, which is better than nothing. So in general, rather than giving up on malaria, it's always better to have more than one option to fall back on in order to fight the issue at hand. Lastly, in my opinion, for malaria in the future, I believe that awareness plays an extremely big role. There are times where individuals do not understand the cause of malaria and how it can affect their lives. And if more awareness is spread, then people can be more careful about how they live their lifestyles. So for example, when they go to the doctors, they make sure that the blood transfusions are being done correctly, or they'll go out of their way to purchase mosquito nets. Just in general, awareness does not completely shut down malaria. However, it can lead to less infection rates. So it's always best to be more aware about the issue rather than being ignorant to the issue at hand.